Celerie is our first female licensee, which is a huge step for Eastern Accents. We're very excited to bring a new element and a new personality and design into our bedding collections. So Celerie, why did you want to do bedding with Eastern Accent?
I think when you work with a company to design a product, it's about the sort of ethic and the mentality of the people you're working with. And I think at Eastern Accents, people are uniquely fun. Perhaps weird.
Thank you. Yeah.
But they also understand what makes something feel beautiful.
What is your favorite book?
The one book I would like everybody I love to have read would be Corelli's Mandolin.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
I really liked American Beauty. I saw that again the other night. But that involves a lot of crying for me. So I think a favorite movie without so much crying would be Parenthood, which had every great comedian in it.
What is your favorite travel destination?
I'm torn. I love to go back to the places that feel like special moments in my life. Like going down to the Dominican Republic, being on the beach there, right at the edge of this crazy lush jungle, or going home to Palm Beach where I grew up. But then there's the mad call of what I've never seen and getting to be an anonymous person who has no power over my world. I love just sort of being put out to discover. So I think of all things, I would choose the place I haven't been, wherever that is.
Do you like to change out your bedding for the seasons?
Not really. I know I'm in the business of bedding here, but to be honest, I like consistency and almost like I'm someone who wears the same perfume all the time.
Okay.
So I have a few of my favorite bed sets, and I keep it to 3 or 4 of them until I wear them down to nothing, and I'm forced to reselect.
Do you have any heirlooms in your home that you use regularly or that you feature prominently?
I'm super sentimental about things. It's part of the reason yes.
This is from Celerie's collection, this beautiful china, which she shipped here.
This is some china my great-great-grandparents who were in the china business out of England. They came to America, some of the younger sons, to sell the family china to hotels along the East Coast.
Did you design the current home that you live in?
Yes, I'm always. I mean, you could put me in an airplane seat for 3 days and I would start trying to decorate my airplane seat.
American Airlines might not appreciate that, or maybe they would. How did you know that interior design was your calling?
I didn't know it at all. My mother's an interior designer, an incredible one, and it was the last thing I looked at. And it just happened that I had been lucky enough to grow up around things that somebody else had taken great care to make beautiful. So I took that as a baseline. And then when I grew up and sort of left my own devices, I realized that I wasn't going to be comfortable unless somebody put that intention into it. Mm-hmm. And then I discovered I liked it.
How do you start to get to know clients and their needs and tastes?
I think some of it's just instinctual. You meet somebody and you get a sense for how honest they're being when they're telling you what they think they are. Mm-hmm. And some people are their word, and some people you just know that you kind of got to work around what they think they're supposed to be and get to what they really enjoy. As much as the design business is supposed to be about creativity, I think a lot of it is about reading someone well and then being willing to service that information. So it's not about my creativity, it's about someone's needs and my ability to interpret them.
Yes. Here we have some of your stunning linens that we are launching with you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what we have here?
Okay, well, I'm so excited about this part because this is what people don't notice. They think of, their white sheets on a bed and that's the end of the story. But I got to take, working with Eastern Accents, I guess as many ideas as I could put into the white sheet as possible.
It was a lot of ideas, yep.
Where we have sort of a hem stitch pattern in 3 lines, we have scalloped edges. And then I was excited about finding very simple embroidery patterns, but that had density, that weren't all sort of sketched and frilly. So this is one of our patterns, which is these little sort of blooming dots. They're very, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a little button that whirls in on itself.
It is like a little button, yeah.
But there's a heft to it. It's got a thick stack of embroidery, so it feels very, very luxe. And then here's a sort of, it's a very subtle pattern. You have to get it in catching the light, and we have it in a few colors. But this is like a blown open moire, very gestural, almost looks like clouds in the Himalayas instead of a tight moire. And I just think this just sort of looks like cool waves. And then on the top of bed, because I am a messy creature, it's so nice to have, you know, that crisp matelassé coverlet.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a very, very simple Swiss dot.
We have this beautiful bird, tropical kind of feel.
Well, he's a dandy, but this was inspired from the chinoiserie from my grandparents, great-grandparents' China collection. So it's actually when we were having tea.
See, look.
There's that same sort of open hand. We have passion flower and popsicles. Originally, when you asked me what delights me,
These are Celery's favorite things.
My points of passion.
Pillows are all Celery's
Party
favorite
hats
things.
and popsicles, and I think there's just sort of a fun whimsy, and then to have it painted where you can see the sort of pigment adding up and the gesture of it, everything feels a little more lighthearted. And some bamboo.
Beautiful.
All things close to the heart.
The reason that Celery and Eastern Accents sort of got acquainted is because of trim. So.
Right. Well, as a decorator, we love trim, but I'm always trying to find a way to make it feel fresh, not fancy or formal. And actually, Jana, who is my go-to for custom trim work, introduced me years ago, saying that you could help me with the project I was working on down in the Dominican Republic. And so I think through trim came the whole collection, and it is quite trim indulgent.
Trim brings people together.
But they're bubbles and scallops and loops, and a lot of them are very baby trims too. Right now I really like just that thin ribbon of contrast color sort of over on our birds here. It's little teeny tiny loops. Because it's a small thing that makes it feel finished, and like there's a lot of intention.
Perfect. Awesome. Trim. Come on, what else can we cover here? I mean, really.
Fill. I like a good squish.
There we go, yes.
Yeah.
Squishability, good. Yeah, that works.
It passes the squash test.
And it recovers. That's good.